logical mind.
Thank you. I prefer the concrete, the graspable, the provable.
You'd make a splendid computer, Mr. Spock.
And from iPhone Canada, QuaDream spyware targeted iPhones with malicious calendar invites. Researchers at Microsoft and Canadian digital rights group Citizen Lab have uncovered a series of iPhone hacks targeting journalists, political opposition figures, and an NGO worker through malicious calendar invites, reports TechCrunch. The attacks utilize spyware created by QuaDream, and Zionist cyber mercenary company known for developing zero-click exploits for iPhones. QuaDream has remained largely under the radar until recently, when reports linked the company to the sale of its hacking tools to Saudi Arabia and the development of iPhone exploits similar to those provided by the NSO Group. The Zionist company's customers operate servers in countries such as Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Hungary, Romania, Ghana, Zionist-occupied Palestine, Mexico, Singapore, UAE, and Uzbekistan, as per Citizen Lab's internet scans. Microsoft and Citizen Lab published technical reports on QuaDream's alleged spyware, revealing that the exploit used to hack the victims' iPhones was specifically designed for iOS 14, making it an unknown and unpatched zero-day vulnerability. The hackers delivered the malware through malicious calendar invites with dates in the past, which did not trigger notifications, making them invisible to the target. Zionist, that's for that one. And from Security Newspaper, securitynewspaper.com, new spyware, QuaDream is a replacement of Pegasus software used to hack iPhones remotely. Security researchers have uncovered fresh malware with hacking capabilities comparable to those of Pegasus, which was developed by NSO Group. The software, which is sold by an Israeli firm named QuaDream, has previously been used by customers to target journalists, political opposition leaders, and employees of NGOs. The company that makes and sells the spyware is called QuaDream. The malware was spread to the victims' phones when the operators of the spyware, who were thought to be government customers, sent them an invitation to an iCloud calendar. The cyber attacks took place between the years 2019 and 2021, and the term RAIN is given to the REIGN is given to the hacking program that was used. A phone that has been infected with RAIN can, similar to a phone that's been infected with Pegasus, record conversations that are taking place near the phone, read messages that are stored on and encrypted apps, listen to phone conversations, track the location of a user, generate two-factor authenticator codes on an iPhone in order to break into a user's iCloud account. Apple, which has been marketing its security measures as being among the finest in the world, has taken yet another hit as a result of the recent disclosures. It seemed that RAIN poses an unprecedented and significant danger to the security of the company's mobile phones. The spyware that was built by QuaDream attacks iPhones by having the operators of the malware, who are believed to be government customers, issue an invitation to an iCloud calendar to the mobile users of the iPhones, and since the calendar invites were issued for events that had been recorded in the past, the targets of the hacking were not made aware of them because they were sent for activities that had already occurred. Since users of the mobile phone are not required to click on any malicious link or do any action in order to get infected, these kinds of attacks are referred to as zero-click attacks. When a device is infected with spyware, it's able to record conversations that are taking place nearby by taking control of the recorder on the device, reading messages sent via encrypted applications, listening in on phone calls, and monitoring the position of the user. The malware may also produce two-factor authentication tokens on an iPhone in order to enter a user's iCloud account. This enables the spyware operator to exfiltrate data straight from the user's iCloud, which is a significant advantage in contrast to NSO groups. QuaDream maintains a modest profile among the general population. The firm doesn't have a website and does not provide any additional contact information on its page. The email address of the Zionist attorney Vivek Donk was included on the QuaDream business registration form. However, she did not respond to a letter asking for her opinion. Citizen Lab did not name the individuals who were discovered to have been targeted by clients while they were using RAIN. However, the organization said, or did say, that more than 5 victims were located in North America, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. These victims were described as journalists, political opposition figures, and an employee of an NGO. In addition, Citizen Lab said that it was able to identify operator sites for the malware in the countries of Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Ghana, Zionist-occupied Palestine, Mexico, Romania, Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, and Uzbekistan. In a security report that was published in December 2022 by Meta, the corporation that owns Facebook, the name of the firm was mentioned briefly, and the report defined QuaDream as being a Zionist-based startup that was created by former NSO personnel. From CSART.com, the CSART Daily, Pegasus-style spyware attack hits journalists, politicians via iPhone exploits. Pegasus-style spyware attack hits journalists, politicians via iPhone exploits. Microsoft threat intelligence analysts named the threat group Dev 0196 linked to Zionist-based private sector offensive actor PSOA known as QuaDream. New Delhi. The fear of Pegasus-style spyware attack resurfaced on Tuesday after researchers at Microsoft and the digital rights group Citizen Lab identified new victims in North America, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Middle East, once again from a Zionist-based spyware maker. Hackers used QuaDream spyware to send malicious calendar invites and to hack the iPhones of journalists, politicians, or political opposition figures, and an NGO worker. Based on analysis of samples shared with us by Microsoft Threat Intelligence, we developed indicators that enabled us to identify at least 5 civil society victims of QuaDream spyware, Citizen Lab said in a statement. The researchers identified traces of a suspected iOS 14 zero-click exploit used to deploy QuaDream spyware. The exploit was developed as a zero-day against iOS version 14.4 and 14.4.2 and possibly other versions. The suspected exploit, which we call End of Days, appears to make use of Invisible Cloud or iCloud calendar invitations sent from the spyware's operator to victims, said Citizen Lab of the University of Toronto's Munk School. Microsoft Threat Intelligence analysts named the threat group Dev 0196, DEV-0196, linked to Zionist-based private sector offensive actor PSOA known as QuaDream. QuaDream reportedly sells a platform they call RAIN to governments for law enforcement purposes. RAIN is a suite of exploits, malware, and infrastructure designed to exfiltrate data from mobile devices. Like NSO groups, Pegasus spyware, RAIN reportedly utilizes zero-click exploits to hack into target devices. Citizen Lab was able to identify operation locations for QuaDream systems in the following countries: Bulgaria, Chechnya, Hungary, Ghana, Zionist-occupied Palestine, Mexico, Romania, Singapore, United Arab Emirates, and Uzbekistan, the tech giant revealed. QuaDream has had a partnership with the Cypriot company called InReach, with whom it's currently embroiled in a legal dispute. Numerous key individuals associated with both companies have prior connections with another surveillance vendor, Verint, as well as Zionist intelligence agencies, the reports mentioned. An Apple spokesperson was quoted as saying in a TechCrunch report that there's no evidence showing the exploit discovered by Microsoft and Citizen Lab has been used after March 2021 when the company released an update. QuaDream was mentioned in a December 2022 report from Meta, which reportedly took down 250 accounts associated with the company. According to the report, Meta observed QuaDream testing its ability to exploit iOS and Android mobile devices with the intent to exfiltrate various types of data, including messages, images, video and audio files, and geolocation. And from Press TV, I have all these different versions of or these different perspectives, these different sources, because they really are varied. So that's a cool thing that these are all very different. From Press TV, new Israeli spyware targets journalists, politicians such as Watchdog. Another Israeli spyware or Zionist spyware resembling the notorious Pegasus program has been used to target journalists and opposition politicians in 10 countries, according to a Canadian watchdog. This was revealed by Microsoft and Citizen Lab, which studies the abuse of digital technologies, on Tuesday. The spy app's been developed by a Zionist firm called QuaDream, which was established by a former Zionist military official. The firm is also linked to veterans who made Pegasus. At least 5 people still unidentified have been targeted by QuaDream. Both Zionist spy apps have been sold to government agencies in North America, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. Citizen Lab identified servers in 10 countries that received data from victims' devices, including Zionist-occupied Palestine, Singapore, Mexico, the United Arab Emirates, and Bulgaria. The Canadian watchdog said QuaDream has sold its spyware and services to government clients, including Singapore, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Ghana, Indonesia, and Morocco. Victims include journalists, political opposition figures, and an NGO worker, Citizen Lab said, saying it would not identify them at the moment. The White House said in late March that Pegasus has been used by governments to facilitate repression and to enable human rights abuses. Some of the countries deploying Pegasus have been used or accused of deploying it on peaceful domestic opposition. And world leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron and top politicians and journalists, are believed to have been targeted by Pegasus. Pegasus is a Zionist spyware that was designed and developed by Zionist NSO groups and is used to break into mobile phones and spy on large part of personal information, including text messages, passwords, locations, and microphone and camera receivers. The Zionist company marked this technology as a tool to target its desired targets in the world. Many West Asian governments have used this controversial software to suppress dissidents, journalists, and political opponents around the world. In West Asia, some cyber detectives have found traces of the use of Pegasus of some other spyware in Poland, Hungary, Spain, and Greece. I'm going to open up a channel.